Another beautiful day out here at the track. About to get this work in. Waiting for Shingai to roll up, so we'll see when he gets here, but feeling pretty good. Took a few days off since I talked to you guys last time. I did a pretty extensive hike. Took about an hour and a half, but it was like straight vertical, so I guess it was more of an intensive hike. So that got my my lactate work in for the week. So it's Monday, about to get a good workout in, so we'll see how it goes. What do we have today? Well, what we're gonna do is some 30s from blocks to start. So we got the blocks down there set up, we got the cones, and then depending on how I feel, might switch back to some flying 30s, but you know, we'll see what happens. Gonna play it by ear, start with the blocks, and then go from there. So, you know, as you're warming up, you wanna use your warm up to target whatever areas are giving you trouble. So, you know, if it's your hips, you wanna do things that are gonna wake up your hips, make them feel good, tell your brain that they're safe, they're not injured. It's hamstrings, target hamstrings. When I hurt my hamstring, I noticed that my good leg at the time, because I hurt my right hamstring, and my good leg then took over the load, and so my left Achilles started to get pissed off. So I started doing those single leg iso holds in my warm-up, and I noticed that it made my feet, Achilles tendon, calf, all feel a lot more ready to work. So you can modify your warm-up to do, you know, to do what you need it to do. And like I said in the last video, it doesn't have to be the longest warm-up in the world, but you want it to be thorough, you want it to be complete, and you want it to prepare you for the work that you have at hand. So what are you working on over here, Shingai?
Just trying to activate the glutes.
Okay, glute activation.
I usually have problems with my hips just being a little too tight, so when I do go through this circuit a lot of the times, 2 sets of 10 usually, it does allow me to get things open.
Nice. So one of the challenges of being a self-coached athlete or someone who, you know, is just out training and doesn't have much guidance is you don't always know exactly what to do. And I think it's important to not get caught in the trap that is thinking you have to do it perfect every time, that every workout has to be the exact, you know, perfect number of reps, perfect number of whatever. Obviously, we should always revert back to what is going to be relevant to our event, what is going to be relevant to the point, you know, within the year that we're in. So if you're going to run indoor season, well, you're going to start competing in January. So if you're not training acceleration and speed development at this point in the year, you know, you might have to ask yourself, are you going to have enough time to develop? Now, if your season doesn't start until March, April, you got plenty of time. So these are things to consider. But as you're deciding what to do in the workout, you know, just revert back to the simple things. What's going to help you, you know, what's going to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be? What part of the race do you need to work on most? What have you worked on in the past 10 days? If there's, you know, 3 things you want to work on every 10 days and you've done 2 of those things in the last 10 days but not the 3rd, well then maybe that 3rd thing is what you should do. So I know that's not a specific, you know, workout or the exact thing to do, but you have to figure that out for yourself. You have to go through the process of training, seeing what works, seeing what breeds development within you, and then look at what are the things that you need to run your fastest, whatever your event is. And then over a 10-day period, you should be targeting, you know, the 3 main things that you need to do. And that can be a very simple way for you to program your workouts. So just a little workout update. Did one 30-meter block start. I ran 4.07, so not too bad for my first one. It's not a blazing time, but usually I don't run very fast until later in the workout, if ever. So I was happy to see that. So I'm gonna hop back in, do another couple of these starts, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So the main thing I'm working on right now is, you know, as I come out of the blocks, we want to be forceful, we want to be quick, but we don't want to overpower it and just try to be all stiff, you know. So I'm just trying to react to the ground, be as, not as quick as I can, but as reactive as I can. So that way, when I hit the ground, boom, foot's bouncing off the ground, producing force quickly, not spending too much time, not losing position, and just sort of relaxing through 30. So that way, when I get up to, you know, 50, 60, 70 meters, still have some energy left. All right guys, so I got a little update. As I said before, I ran 4:07 on my first 30 meter. So I thought that was, you know, pretty good. Then I came back for a 4:02, then a 3:98. So that was 3 by 30 at that point. And I thought to myself, well, you know, let's see what else we have, because it still felt good, but I wanted to lengthen it out a bit just so I could feel a little speed. So I set the cone out to 60 meters, left the blocks where they were, and I ran a 60 from blocks. Now to 20 meters, I ran 2.90, so it's pretty good. To 30 meters, I ran 3.92. So compare that to where I started at 4:07. It's a pretty big drop through the session. And like I was saying, I tend to run faster later in the session. So it's a good example of that. But I'm pretty happy with the 60. I don't know if you can guess what the time is, but drum roll, ran a 6.88. So that's pretty good for practice, I would say. I never ran that fast in college. So to be running that in practice out of college with no competition, you know, can't complain. So pretty happy about that. Not sure if I'm gonna run another one. I'm gonna give myself a little rest period, see if I feel good, maybe do one more. But if I shut it down, I'll let you guys know and do a little commentary to end the workout.
With like a bunch of kids and stuff like that, but his stuff has been honestly like simple but effective.
Yeah.
So
sometimes that's all you need is simple drills, simple workouts.
I don't overthink about, you know, what I'm gonna do from, you know, the leg that's in the air to when I make my first step.
Yep.
It just almost naturally falls into place, so it does really help a lot.
All right guys, so my workout is done. When I showed up today, I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do. I thought to myself, well, I could do something longer, but I went on a pretty long hike last week, so I feel like my, you know, lactic work is sort of covered. I could do pure speed work, but that might be a little much for a Monday after taking, you know, a few days off of just sitting around not doing much. But I thought to myself, well, it'd be good to work block starts because of the time of year it is. It's about time to get, you know, start getting prepped into the mindset of indoor track. So I thought I'll start with 30-meter block starts. That's not too far, it's also not too short, so I have a good opportunity to see how my body feels. So I ran a few of those. I think I did 3, came back for a 4th one, but on that 4th one I set the cone at 40 yards. So that's, you know, 36 meters basically. So I went 3 30s, 1 to 36, which is 40 yards, and then I went 2 to 60 meters. On the second to last rep, so my first 60, that was my fastest rep of the day. I probably could have shut it down there, but I thought, I'll do one more. You know, that's famous last words, right? Let's do one more. So I did one more rep, but my fastest rep, I ran 290 to 20, 392 to 30, and 688 to 60. So for me, I'm happy with those times. Even if I didn't run those, I'd still be satisfied with the workout. But you know, it always feels good to run a good time and to remind yourself that, hey, you know, you're doing well, you're on track, just keep at it, keep working, stay healthy, and good things will come. So I think today's a testament to the idea that you don't always need to know exactly what you're going to do when you enter a workout, but you should have some idea. And how you figure out what that, idea of a workout is when you're not quite sure what to do is you go back to the basics. What do I need to be successful in the race that I'm going to be running in season? If it's indoor, that's the 60. So what do you need? You need to start well, you need to be fast, and you need to have a little bit of short speed endurance. So today, what did I do? I did some starts. I spent some time over a max velocity zone, and there was a little bit of speed endurance involved toward the end with the 60. So that's one way that you can come up with a workout if you're not quite sure. Now, I'm not saying that you should never plan workouts or you shouldn't have a good periodized program. Sorry if I just spit in the camera, but you should have plans. You should have an idea of what you want to do. You should know that, hey, within this 10-day period, I want to knock these 3 boxes or check these 4 boxes or whatever. But you don't have to plan out every single rep exactly. And if you have planned it out, it's not always going to work out that way. You might plan 8 reps and you can only do 6, or you plan 4 and you're able to do 5. So give yourself a little bit of room, some wiggle room to adjust the workouts on the fly. You should still have some plan, but don't feel like every time you work out, you have to know exactly what you're going to do to the T. Life is just not something that is always easily planned. So do your best to plan. Have plan A, plan B, plan C. But if you need to make adjustments on the fly, do it. And if you're not quite sure what to do, go back to basics, do something simple, and chances are that'll work out. Now, Shingai, he had an acceleration-based workout. He's a triple jumper, so the ability to accelerate into the board, be stable when you hit the board, be at a stable speed and a controlled posture, those are all important things. It's not as important for him as a triple jumper to run as fast as possible through 30 meters or 20 meters or whatever that point is, but it's more important for him to run pretty fast but be controlled and be able to then set himself up to launch off the board effectively. So, we are both working on acceleration, but the acceleration I'm trying to develop is purely how fast can I get up to top speed and how fast of a top speed can I hit, whereas for him, it's how can I get to the fastest controllable speed that will allow me to hit the board in the right position with the right timing and be able to set himself up for a good strike onto the board and be able to then manage his posture and positions through the air as he completes the triple jump. So, you could have 2 people running the same workout. Maybe say we were both doing 6x30 was our workout, just hypothetically. Well, if we were both doing that workout, sure, earlier in the off season, yeah, he might just be trying to run all out. But as he gets closer to competition, we need to modify the starting stance to be more akin to what he's going to use in the triple jump, modify the rhythm to be more like what it's going to be in the triple jump, and then psychologically be performing it from a mental, a place mentally that is more akin to what he's going to have to deal with when he's going to triple jump. So that's just a little insight into an acceleration workout, whether you're a sprinter or a jumper, as well as some ideas for, what you can do when you're not exactly sure what you should do or what you want to do. You can narrow it down. Like I said, pick those top 3 priorities for your event. If you haven't done one of them in the last 10 days, do that. If you have, circle back through or do something that's a lower priority if you feel you need to do it. But anyways, that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you had a good time watching this video. Hope you're able to train sometime in the near future, and I'll catch you guys next time. This is Cody Bidlow with SprintingWorkouts.com, signing off.